Previously on the Crenshaw Corner.
I think definitely like being authentic with somebody. It's like where I don't have to feel like I have to put on my best foot forward every time I see
to perform every time I see it. Yeah.
Because then at that point, like even if you progress in the marriage, it's nothing about it is real. You're just always like, oh, let me fix my tie before I walk in this house. Or let me wake up and all my teeth is brushed already. My breath is never hot. You know?
Right.
You gotta be ready. You gotta be able to turn over and blow hot breath sometimes.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, that's I always say. I always have these.
Both right
I always,
in the morning.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's love when you can talk to each other face to face first thing in the morning. When you just turn over and just look at each other and automatically start talking.
Eyes all crusty.
I don't like y'all.
That is love.
Let's
So
burn
silly.
both our noses. Yours burning? Yeah, mine burning too.
I'm sorry, but you going to
No,
say
I always tell my girlfriends, I said, my girlfriend, I always say, I never want to have a white stallion horse. And as months and years go by, I realized that I had a zebra all the time, right? Because he's covered himself with all this white, beautiful hair.
Well, hello there, family.
Hi, guys.
I didn't see you there.
What's up?
And welcome back to another edition of the Crenshaw Corner Podcast. I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the absolute best part of my day.
That's me, y'all. Hello.
The apple of my eye.
A gala. Is a gala? What's the apple?
Are you...
Okay, wait, hold on. Gala.
Are you trying to say a gala?
Gala. I'm a gala.
Who is, you said Gaia. Gaia
said
is the
gala.
Earth spirit and Captain Planet. What are we doing right now?
Gala.
We can't even.
Is
We're
it
not even 30 seconds into the
Wait,
intro.
is it a gala apple though?
It's a gala apple.
Okay, I'm a gala apple, you guys.
But how you say Gaia?
And
though?
because a gala apple is like soft and like sweet.
It's not soft. There's nothing soft about it.
What kind?
It's more of a crisp.
I'm a
apple.
crispy apple. I'm a crispy wife. Yes.
You a couple of things,
I'm a crispy wife.
but I'm gonna keep it real.
Just keep it going. Just keep going, baby.
For right now, I'm gonna keep it real.
I'm the wind beneath his wings, honey. He is rising up.
I just did church this weekend, so I'm trying to keep
He
my
rising.
religion in me.
He rising up.
I couldn't even finish what I was saying.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The wind beneath my wings.
Whew. He's lifted.
The rib that completes me.
He's completed, y'all. He's completed.
The Dorothy to my stand. You come on, man. You got to know this.
Okay, Dorothy. Okay, Dorothy is Beatrice Arthur Beatrice.
Yes, Arthur.
They had a show
Yeah.
that was a spinoff for the Jeffersons.
She did, but that's not the show I'm talking about, though.
Okay, but no, Stan and her were in that show.
No, not the actor might have been, but he wasn't.
Because not the Golden Girls.
It is the Golden Girls.
Well, who the heck is Stan?
Her husband, her ex-husband.
He died.
He didn't die.
What
What are you talking about?
See, I'm thinking about the show that was a spinoff then.
But I just said it wasn't, though.
But my mind kept going there. Yes, I did good. I did good. Give me credit.
Am I giving you credit for that?
Because look, I knew the name. I knew the other show before the show.
But that's not the show I was talking about.
Okay, Golden Girls.
But it is the Golden Girls.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yes.
Curious. You gonna tell somebody your name?
Oh, what is going on, guys? What is going on? I am Angela, guys. What is going on? So, I said my name. You didn't say nothing.
No, because you were yelling at the people, so I had to turn your microphone down. That's all. You was yelling at the family, and I just had to. I had to make an executive decision. I felt like they were they took their speakers out their car and set them to the side because you was kind of yelling at the family.
Okay, I'm a whisper.
I just had to turn it down. That's all.
I'm a whisper.
But family, that's my wife.
Hey guys,
That is my wife, family.
Yes, I am.
Family, we thank you for joining us. However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com, whether it's on YouTube, we thank you for listening.
Thank you guys so much. Seriously, we appreciate it.
For our new family members, our returning family members,
What's up, guys?
we thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
I also want to do a couple of things real quick.
Okay.
I want to thank Brazil.
Ooh.
I want to thank China.
Hello, China.
I want to thank Canada.
Thank you, Canada.
I want to thank Japan.
Come on, Japan.
I want to thank Budapest. I want to thank Budapest.
Come on now.
I want to thank Australia.
Come on, Australia.
I want to thank the UK.
Thank you, UK.
I want to thank Spain.
Come on, Spain.
And I want to thank the Cayman Islands.
Come on, not the Cayman Islands.
Because just in the last 30 days,
okay,
we have family members that have listened consistently from those areas.
Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for loving us. We love you too. Thank you so much.
So family, thank you so much
for
joining us. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes.
We thank you for being here. We thank you for coming back. You never know what you're going to get when you're dealing with the Crenshaw.
Yes.
So we just want to thank you for that. We do consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
We are. Now that we are.
We consider, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook.
Yes.
You can find us on the Tickety Talks.
Yes.
You can find us on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
Through the visual medium, because we do release videos from time to time.
Time through time.
Time through time.
Long time. But yeah, it's not the point.
We're not going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about. We're going to do better.
We're going to do better.
We're going to do better.
And then also, like I said before, you can listen to our podcast on YouTube as well.
Yes. Actually, every episode we ever done, correct?
Every episode, every 230.
Whatever. That's amazing.
Or whatever it is.
Our anniversary's coming up as far as the podcast is concerned.
Our wedding anniversary and
our podcast. Yes, it's coming up. It'll be 4?
It'll be
3 or 4?
4 years. 4 years to podcasting.
Yes.
25 years married.
Yeah.
25. So pray my strength in the Lord, family.
Yes, pray for him, y'all.
Pray my strength in the Lord.
Pray for him, my God.
And family, if you notice.
The way that God has blessed him. I mean, he's the Lord has blessed this man. But carry on, my love.
Let's say that. Let's say I've been blessed.
And highly favored. I don't like when people, like when you speak to somebody, hey, how you doing? Blessed and highly favored. Just say hi. Sometimes hi is okay.
Because you be dealing with religious people.
Just say hi.
That's why. But family, if you notice, I kind of rushed through the intro a little bit. I did that for a purpose and a reason.
My goodness.
Because my wife is on one even before we began. And I just don't want to open up the door to allow her to continue to run rampant.
I'm not today.
Through this episode.
I'm excited.
But then also, we are very excited.
Yes, we are.
Because we have 2 very special guests returning.
Yes, our silent co-host.
Our silent co-host is my wife.
Yes, they are silent co-hosts. I'm telling y'all. We're trying to do it, make it permanent, but they travel too much for us. But we're not going to talk about it.
When you're dealing with successful big wigs.
This is true. This is true.
When you're dealing with important people.
Important people.
That's doing important things in life. It's hard to get on their schedule.
Yeah, we asked them to come back last year.
Yeah. Literally last year. We asked for them to come back.
And y'all, I don't know if you know, but in 2 months is a whole nother year. But we're not going to talk about this.
So because if we honest, the last time they were here, we recorded them.
Yeah.
It was this time last year.
Was it really though?
It really was.
It was.
Yeah, it was when we recorded them the last time, it was 2023.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we about to be in 2020. We about to be in 2026.
25, baby. Where you going?
I didn't skip the year.
Baby, come back. Come
I did
back.
skip a year, actually.
Yes.
So, family, this episode is, we typically have somewhat of a format to an episode. We're not at this point.
No.
This is just
because
it's
a silent co-host, so we're just basically going to talk about life.
And I'm trying to figure out why they still quiet, why ain't nobody said hello yet.
I mean, what's happening with y'all?
Hey, man, I thought I was muted, okay?
I turned your T. I thought I was muted too.
I turned your mic back on. So just say hello to the family.
First of all, let me just say this. I want to welcome you. I'm going to give y'all an introduction. My God. I want to welcome our silent co-host to the Crenshaw Corner Podcast. Yes. So introduce yourselves. Tell them who you are. And welcome back, guys.
Just reintroduce yourself
welcome,
to the family.
Yeah, just welcome back.
Yes. Hey, guys. I am Sharonda Weston,
Yes.
owner of U-Turn Spaces. And a new grandma.
Yes, honey. My little baby.
9 months though.
9 months. Is she 9 months already?
9 months.
Ooh, that was fast.
Yes.
That was fast.
I remember those days. 9 months.
What? You got your son 15. Make you feel like that, don't
He told me, he said, I said, come here, baby. He said, my name is Brayden.
Okay, get it right.
No, I'm not a baby. My name
I'm not
is
a
Brayden.
baby. It's Brayden.
That's okay, Brayden.
Get yourself together.
So he
Introduce yourself,
Call
sir.
me daddy. No, it's Brayden. My name is Brent Cureton.
Okay.
I'm what am I supposed to be telling them?
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to tell the family.
It's a reintroduction. Just
reintroduce yourself.
We're talking about big wig and all that.
You out here just making things happen in
I
life.
just go to work. That's all I do. Go to work. Come on.
So your name is Brent and you just go to work? That's all you got?
All I do.
And work out.
That's all.
And work out.
Listen, we're going to get into that. Yes.
So, fam, what we're doing is, like we said, this is just going to be kind of an open conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last time we had the pleasure of sitting down and speak with these two wonderful people, we touched on a lot of different topics. Being
It started single, yeah.
Started with being single and expectations and reality and just in there and everything. So because it's literally been almost a year since we've actually sat down and had this conversation with you guys, let's first talk and let's catch up. And so how has 2024 been for you?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, are we still single in 2024?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Well, how is that going for you? Are we feeling more optimistic about being single? Or are we kind of in the same place? What is being single in 2024 for you now?
Going into 2025. What is that? Not staring at us.
It's the looks we're getting right now.
It's the looks y'all giving me right now.
It's the both.
Y'all want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I like to talk a lot.
Go ahead.
Listen, I am having the time of my life. This has been a great 2024. Has been amazing.
Has it been amazing?
Oh, it's been great.
It's been great. Go ahead.
No, I'm enjoying. See, the thing for me, I'm enjoying single.
Okay.
Right. For so long, it was that I'm trying to make this work, trying to make that work.
Right.
But now this single, I don't know where I found this one at.
Okay.
You found it.
I'm holding on to it.
You found it.
I found it.
You holding on to
I
it.
found it.
You found it. Hold on
I
to
found
it.
Yes. Hold on to it.
Hold
for a
on
while.
to the single.
Good
Then.
with it.
We're gonna hold on to it for a while.
You gotta hold on to it. See what it
Yeah.
look. See what it feel like. Look
Yeah,
like.
it feel good.
Okay. As he crossed his legs, y'all. As he crossed his legs.
Exactly.
As he crossed his legs.
What was the turning point though?
Yeah. What happened there?
What was the catalyst that got you to the point like, okay, I'm enjoying this singleness now?
Stop looking backwards.
Okay.
You know, when we tell ourselves, you want a relationship, but half the time we looking backwards.
Right.
You know, so, and I can speak for myself. A lot of me, I've always, I look backwards. Right. Y'all know me for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
Been a long time.
It's been a long
You
time.
know, and I can be honest about myself.
Yeah.
I was in a place where I felt like, I didn't want to get out of it. It was, we're talking about being with someone for so long,
Yeah.
right? You build and you grow and
Yeah.
you have a child.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when that doesn't work out, for me, it was almost holding on to the idea that it might. You never know. Hey, something might happen.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I'm from the South. Grandmama and them, old school.
Yeah.
Real old school. So when I had a child, my idea went from dating to like keep the family together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get married. Let's do this.
Yeah. Let's work it out.
Right.
Right. So even though I was single, I was still maneuvering and putting things in place as if
It could work again.
that could happen.
Again.
Okay.
And then that changed for me. It changed for me because I realized, I'm a good dad.
Come
right?
on now.
I don't have to. I can do this, right? And I love doing it.
Yeah.
So when that happened, and once I realized, look, I don't need. You may want it, but I don't need it. When I let go of the need, got free.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. I've been free ever since.
Wow. And first, that's really good. And I'm only saying that because coming from a male perspective, that's why I'm saying that's really good. Because normally that's a conversation that women have. Like, finally, I've tried. I thought that this was something that was going to work, especially when you have children. And we want to, because, again, the way that our culture is raised sometimes, if you have a baby, you need to be with her. You need to be with him. Do not break the family up. And then once you realize that the family doesn't work, there's a part, and I'm going to ask you this question. Once you realize a family doesn't work and you've been raised that way, there's a level of guilt that comes with that, right?
Yeah, that's
right?
the word. That's it.
You feel guilty, and there's a level of shame because now you have to go to your family and say, this doesn't work, right? And then they start asking you thousands of questions. Well, have you tried this? Did you do this? Can you do this? And then realizing, and then a lot of times, let me ask you this question. A lot of times, the times that you was trying to put it back together, were you trying to put it back together because you wanted, or you was putting it back together because that was the expectation of the family, that's the way that it should be?
Mine, it was actually, I wanted it to work. because I wanted to defy the odds. Right. So being a black man and growing up, my mom, single mom, 5 kids, my dad wasn't around.
Right.
Right. So I made a promise to myself.
Yeah. I get that.
I was younger.
I get that.
If I ever have children, I will not do that. So I made sure I fought with everything I had because it wasn't about me anymore. It was about me keeping a promise that I made to my younger self.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I looked at my kid, and to this day I still look, when I look at Brayden, I see my younger self, right? And I try to think to myself,
right,
what would I have wanted?
Okay.
And that's what drives me to be a dad. So it was less, see, I grew up in a family, mom wasn't married. My grandmother got divorced early on, right? And the women in my family, I didn't see a lot of marriage.
Okay.
In the marriage I did see, I ain't gonna put their business, but
it was what it was.
It was,
it was a
right.
marriage.
It was nothing that I wanted to follow.
Right, exactly. It was an example for you.
So for me, it was less for my family, as in them expecting something from me, but it was me trying to prove I can do it.
I can do it.
Right, I can do it.
I want to break this generational curse that I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was proud of having that good relationship. Right?
Yeah.
And then having that good bond and then, having each other's back. So for me, I was embarrassed on my first Thanksgiving going to my grandma's house by myself.
Ooh.
Like, you've been doing this for 6 years. Where's she at?
Right.
Damn. How do I answer this? Right?
How do you answer this question?
How do I answer this? Because it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
Because the moment I say we ain't together,
it becomes a reality.
It is, and then it's that's it. Right?
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
So I left that open in there for a long time.
You wouldn't say anything.
No, not a word.
I see a question burning in you, Sanchez.
No, I'm good. I'm just listening.
So here's the thing. So finally you say to yourself, okay, that regardless of, you had to tell, because you had to reconcile with your younger self, first of all. Sit your younger self down and be like, hey, right? I know what I said. I know what I meant. But still in all, I am still going to have a relationship with my child's mother, and I'm still going to be a good dad. And those things, because life be lifing, right? And sometimes we put these expectations on ourselves, and that is so big that we can't, unfortunately, that we cannot. Because I believe that your son would have gotten the best of you had you stayed. Do you believe that he wouldn't have got the best of you if you'd have stayed in something that you know that you really didn't want? Because a lot of people stay in relationships and marriages for the sake of the children, and they're miserable. And here's the thing: the kids can feel it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you believe that you've given the best of yourself to your son? This is like the ultimate dad he got right now.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna scream that from the mountaintops.
Yeah.
Listen, being a dad is it's the greatest honor of my life.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do. And anybody who knows me, they know that.
Yeah.
My son is, my world.
Yeah.
So, Brayden, I'll give you an example of this. So, years ago, I was in a place I was just stressed, I'm unhappy, right? Trying to make this thing work.
Right.
Everything relationship, you're just killing yourself.
Right.
Now, Brayden comes, it's a Wednesday night. This past Wednesday, 2 a.m. He comes in my room. Daddy, I want a big Christmas tree.
At 2, this is the conversation you want to have at 2 a.m.
I said, what?
2 a.m. in the morning.
What, Brandon? Yeah, I want a big one. I want a big Christmas tree, Daddy. I said, look. What do I do? Of course. I agree. I'm going to get you the biggest tree I can find if you go back to sleep. What are we doing, son?
We can work this out.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Because I don't even understand what we're doing. So, because of me loving being a dad, and I loved it. Not only did he get a Christmas tree, I went and got the biggest Christmas tree that could fit in my living room. I made him a little Christmas village. Right? A train. He got the whole 9 yards.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures. I made a little Christmas village for him, and he comes back home tomorrow.
Oh, this is gonna be exciting.
He comes back home tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna be so exciting.
So he got a little train set up under there, going around. I made him a little,
Yes.
Now, it's gonna look like that for about an hour.
Okay.
Of course.
Until
Of
he
course.
gets his
You already
hands
know
on it.
that.
Half of it gonna be in his room.
Yeah, until he
Yes.
gets his hands on it.
That's
Yeah.
fine. 'Cause I did it for him.
Yeah, he saw it.
But see, that's the kind of stuff I can be honest with myself. Years ago, I would have never done that.
Because you
Wouldn't have done it.
were so caught on the clutter of your mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Caught up in, it was like a battle, right?
Yeah.
So literally things like this, I felt like I couldn't even receive that, right?
Yeah.
And want to do stuff like that. But now this is what I'm on now.
Yeah.
This is what makes me happy to realize, look, I can be a great dad,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I have to remind myself she's a great mom,
Right.
So when you know you have a child with somebody who you know is a good parent,
Right.
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 you can find peace in that, and that's why.
Yes. So do you believe that you claimed yourself back when you became single?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the ultimate, the
Yes.
part of the essence of who Brent is. You believe that
Yes.
you claimed yourself in your singleness.
Yes. Yes. I
That's good.
changed everything.
Changed
Yeah, 'cause your
everything.
face, your whole demeanor is just totally different.
Yeah.
Like you're happy. You
Yeah.
can tell.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You're at peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome.
Peace is the word. Peace
Yeah.
is key.
Peace is key.
Right.
Yeah.
Prioritize my health. Right. My physical, mental health. Right. Because people
Yeah.
always think of health. They it's physical.
All is physical.
No,
Mhm.
no. You got to get your mind right.
Yeah.
And understand that. Look, you're only going to go as far as where you can take you.
Exactly.
We always want to look at everybody else.
Yeah.
What are they going to do for me? What are they going to do for me? What are they pouring into my life?
Right.
No. Show them how they're supposed to do
Treat
it.
you.
You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
exactly.
So you got to be the example and hold everybody accountable to it. So that's what I do.
Yeah. Yes, Sanchez, I'm sorry.
It's always a running joke. You see it all the time in sitcoms and movies and comedies, talking about the inner child. Whenever
Right.
whenever you have a skit, a comedy skit, or a parody of a psychologist, they're always talking about your inner child.
Right.
But that's a real thing.
Yeah.
That inner child is
Yes,
a real thing.
absolutely. Yes.
And you had mentioned earlier, you were living on a promise that you made to your child self, your child self of me.
Yep.
So my question is, how difficult was it for you to reconcile that inner child portion of it? Because a disappointed inner child
Yeah.
will have you making
Bad decisions.
bad choices
Yes.
and bad decisions. It will have you living an unfulfilled life because you're trying to appease a portion of yourself that never got the love and attention that it needed to get.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
how was it hard for you, or how were you able to reconcile that promise with that inner child?
Listen, y'all know this about me. I'm an open book. I'm probably one of the most honest people you'll meet.
Right.
Right. There's no shame in things. That was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Okay.
Right. Because what happened was when I recognized what the problem was, I had nobody to blame. Right. It was me. Right. It's something that I got to solve myself.
Right.
So naturally, what do? Right. Now I find myself drinking more. Right. Here I am trying to drink it away. Right.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to deal with that because now I have to acknowledge some things. That I don't want to do that.
Right.
So I tried everything, right? Spending, shopping, buying this, buying that. But everybody knows I love cars. Okay, I do.
This is a fact, y'all. This is a fact. I just want to throw that out there. He wasn't like saying it for it's a fact, y'all. It's a fact.
Love them. I love them. Right. So for me, it was I would I had to buy something to feel good. Right. So I found myself buying stuff. Right. Spending all this money and running away from the thing to the point where I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I gained 35 pounds. Was eating terrible.
Yeah.
Drinking all the time.
Okay.
Right. Smoking cigars and, all this stuff. I was
Right.
like, what in the world are you doing?
Right.
What started this?
Right.
This is not what you do.
Right.
How'd you get here? And it was realized I was running away from resolving something I didn't want to tap into because it hurts.
It does hurt.
Right? I don't care what you get, right? You look back at that stuff and say, man, that was a tough period of my life.
Yeah.
And it was very hard. But what I had to do was you have to just make a decision. no matter how difficult it is, and some of us need help. You know, we need a therapist, a psychiatrist,
yeah.
right? We need, you know, religious, right? Talk to your pastor,
Yeah.
right? You know, so for me, it was me getting closer to God
Absolutely.
and fully trusting God, because we'll say, I'm giving it to the Lord, and then we'll go over here and do all this stuff over here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, doing we got no business, right? So for me, it was really submitting to that, to where I took a 2 week sabbatical.
Okay.
Took 2 weeks off work, stayed in my own lane, didn't bother nobody, didn't talk. I tried to, you know, stay in my own environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Try not to leave the house as much. Right. Unless I'm going out for a little walk. You know, get out there and do what you got to do. And that really allowed me to realize I was causing my own problems.
Self-sabotage.
Exactly. Right. And Sanchez knows it's about. I mean, you do too. But Sanchez and I've had this conversation a million times. I like to save people. You know, save. You know, I like to be a little superhero. Right.
Yeah.
You know,
S on your chest.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Be out here doing things to the point to where I didn't have anybody else to say. So I actually started putting myself in a situation so I could pull myself out of it. Right. And if you don't catch it, you will do that to yourself.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
You will put yourself in a bind so that you can save yourself. And that's the craziest thing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But it was through talking to a therapist where I realized what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I did, man. And that's a long-winded answer to your question, but it was me having to really recognize that I didn't break a promise, right? Because I wasn't the only one that was responsible for keeping that promise, but I did my part,
right?
And I still do my part to this day,
right?
You know? And I tell people, look, I work a lot. We can get into that, you know. We can talk about all that kind of crazy stuff. 'Cause Lord, I'm doing a lot of things. But I'm a full-time dad, right? Like my kid lives with me, right? So I have the honor of being able to have him in the home, take him to school, you know, do the dinner, the plays, the bath times, nighttime story, play. Like I had the honor of doing all that on a normal basis. So that's when I had to realize, look, you fulfilled your promise. Yeah. Now it's time for you to keep it. Right. You keep doing that throughout the next part of this journey. Right.
I think it's what I've noticed with a lot of people. It's a fine line between an actuality and a excuse. And a lot of the times we will use that childhood trauma or I didn't have a good relationship with my mother, or I didn't have a good relationship with my father, or this happened and that happened. Yeah. And we use it as an excuse as to why we make the decisions we make. Exactly. Or stay in situations we shouldn't be in, or get ourselves into situations we never should have been in. Right. That's right. But it's if you don't acknowledge the fact that there is a hurt there. Yeah. Because you would be amazed. Something that happened when you were 3 years old can truly affect your life when you're in your 40s and your 50s. And control your whole life. If you don't properly deal with it. Right. And the fact that you said, yeah, I'll admit, I saw the therapist. I got therapy. I seek counsel, which is biblical. Yeah. We're supposed to seek counsel. Yes. It is biblical. That is, as a Christian, as a follower of Christ, as someone who believes, it is biblical. We are supposed to seek counsel. Yes. Yeah. It is supposed to be the proper counsel, but we're supposed to seek counsel. And a lot of us get stuck in that and we won't. Yeah. And we end up hurting. We end up making bad choices. We end up shopping or drinking or being in a relationship or seeking the wrong people. Right. Because there's something in our life, like you said, sometimes it's just easier. It's just easier to be in a bad relationship than it is to deal with the pain of what I went through. Yes. Or it's just easy. It's easier to be verbally abused by you than to do the work, the internal work sometimes that we have to do to be able to get to the point where like, enough is enough. Because you're numb. At that point, you are numb. And also, you got to remember, too, we've talked about this, me and Sanchez talked about this, we talk about it a lot even now, that
something's going to trigger the 3-year-old to come out. Something's going to trigger whatever age group that you got hurt in to come out. And it could be you in a grocery store. And one day you just get triggered. And then there's a spiral effect to that thing, right? Because now you're thinking about nobody loved me, nobody cared, nobody this and nobody that. And you begin to think that I've never and I didn't do. And next thing you know, you're spiraling, and you have to be careful. That's why it is good to seek counsel so that you can find out what are the triggers to that, right? Like what's triggering you to handle it this way. Like what I do appreciate, and I'm about to get to you, Shay. I can't call you Shay, Sharonda. What I realized too is the moment that you recognize, see, the deal is to recognize it, right? The moment that you recognize it and stop putting the blame on everybody else and look at yourself, it becomes real.
Yeah.
The reality of it becomes real, and you're like, so you mean to tell me for 20 years I could have cleared this up?
Oh, there we go.
20 years ago.
Yes.
20 years ago. But we're so numb to it.
Yes.
And again, sometimes we're not taught how to. Until because no one wants to tell you to seek counsel. No one wants to tell you to tell your business. Because we just raise a certain, depends on how you're raised, right? And so you go through the motion. So when you did your sabbatical and you said all of that, you're like, you know what? If nothing else but for my son. If I do nothing else, at least let it be for the little boy in me. I love you. We're doing this together. But right now I got another little boy.
Yes.
Right?
That's it.
And I was talking to somebody about this, one of my girlfriends, about my 2 sons who have children. And I was like, the Bible says that your gifts and talents will make room for you and put you before great men. Yeah. And one day the Holy Spirit said to me, tell your sons that the great men that they're talking about is their children. See, you thinking is a producer, or you thinking is this, but the great men that you're going to have to deal with is your children.
Yes.
He's going to put you before great men, and everything that you do is going to be looking through you. The greatest thing you could ever do is have your kids, and your kids are going to be looking at you, right? And so when I was like, but Lord, are you sure that's how the scripture? Because I'm thinking, because when you hear it, you thinking prosperity and all of that things. Yes. But the great men right now and the great women that God is putting you in front is your children, and how you handle it and what you do makes the difference. And I think that sometimes we have to remember that, and we have to break this curse of what we're going through, because I promise you, even for myself, the little girl in me had been hurt for so long, right? That she was like, whatever. The walls have always been up, because I'm not going to give you won't hurt me before I hurt you. You better believe, you better, right? Because I'll get a trigger. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so glad that you decided that to reconcile with that little boy in you, and the adult you said, we can still go hand in hand. We're just going in a different direction.
Yep.
We change the direction. It's not that I'm going to leave you, right? But we're going to go in a different direction. How about you, Shay? So, okay, so we in 2024.
Full circle conversation.
Full circle conversation.
This is where we left off. This is where we left off.
You know what?
And
it is. Because remember we said we was going to come back and have a conversation about being parented and triggers.
Yep. And that inner child. So we're going to continue to talk about that. But
wow.
Shay, but the first circle conversation.
Yeah, it is surely. You know what? Wow. Look at God. So, okay, 2024, we're single. How has 2024 treated you since the last time we seen you in that arena, in that area in your life? What about you?
It's been ups and downs.
Okay.
Good and bad. So it's. I think right now I'm at a place in my life where I've gone inside.
Okay.
So I'm doing a few things to like fasting and a few things with just kind of being by myself, things like that.
Right.
It's been a hard year. It's been a good year. It's been a hard year as well. Full transparency. I thought I met someone who I was going to be with for a while, and unfortunately God needed him more than myself, so he passed away a few months ago.
I'm sorry about that, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Yeah, so sorry to hear that.
Thank you. So you get to the point where you're like, okay, he sent me this wonderful, amazing man who I mean, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. He wasn't perfect. But when I tell you he was probably going to be my person, I really felt that. He felt that, and we was on that road.
Yeah.
So that was difficult. Just like, why you bring him to me just to take him?
Right, right.
And I've had, like, my cousin Tony, she was quick to say, maybe you were, it happened where you was in his life. At the end as well, to show him what love is. You know what I mean? So anyway, so it's been a good year because I had good times, but then it's a hard year as well.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just at a place where I'm just like, okay, let me just chill out a little bit. Let me just relax. Get to know Shay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see exactly what I want. But I think what that did teach me is there are still great men. Out here.
Yeah.
And if I didn't get anything else from that relationship, it was that.
Right.
It opened my eyes to let me see, okay, love does still exist. There are, chivalry is still here. A man is still here because I like a man.
Right.
Right. I like walking in my feminine energy, as they would say. I like being like, oh, baby, you got that? Okay. Great. I'm going to be over here sitting down.
Being cute. Thank you.
I'm
be cute.
And I was able to just relax and let him handle what he needed to handle.
Right.
And I didn't feel the need to take over.
Okay.
I think being a single mom, a lot of times you get a bad rap, but as a single mom, it's like you have to do everything yourself.
Right.
That it just is what it is. And that in that instance or during that time, I didn't have to be.
Wow.
Even though I didn't have to handle everything by myself.
Right.
I feel like if they say if you really want to know if someone care about you, you give them a problem and see how they respond.
Come on now.
He stepped up in any problem that I would give him, and problems I didn't even know it was a problem. He was trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think with that situation, it was a blessing because it I don't know, just renewed my faith. It renewed my energy, saying, okay, yeah, he's out there and he's coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? And eventually, God will bring me someone else. But he definitely had me have me looking at life differently. So
That's
though
beautiful.
it's a difficult time once he passed, but having him here was like, okay,
you could do this.
Yeah, it was a blessing.
It sounds like having that awareness, first of all, of knowing that you have these walls up.
Yes.
And allowing yourself to take these walls down, which again is very difficult to do. It's not easy if you're a single mom, you've been doing this by yourself for a while or whatever. It is not that easy to just take these walls down. Yeah. So when you do, it's like, can I trust you with that? So in order for you to do that, that spoke a testament to his life and who he was to you. But also I hear that it opened your heart now, right? It opened your heart. Yeah. So when you said that you're going in, is it you're going into, because of course we all change what we think we like, we don't like from last year from year to year. So when you say I'm going in, I'm fasting, I'm praying, you're just like, are you kind of like doing what Brent said, like basically going into your own, what's the word you use? Sabbatical, and just really finding out what is it that now that I know that I can have this, what do I do? Because first, before on your walls, I'd be like, I can't have this. Not what I really want, like the real rest. I want the real cross my legs and be in my feminine, but now that you know that you can have it, right? Yep. So most people be like, I can have it, so I'm going to go find it. But you're saying, I know that I can have it, but I need to go chill for a minute. How did you get there? Because most people be like, oh, I can do this. And they go back out. But you're saying, no, I need to sit with this for a while. Why sit with it? What happened?
Because I realized I can have it, but I realized even more that I want it.
Okay.
Right? And I think a lot of times, we'll say, oh, I want this. Do you really, you know what I mean? Do you really understand what that is?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think for me, it was like, when it hit me, like, oh, this exists, right? Forget what society is saying. Forget what men is, especially black men. They get a bad rep, and men in general, but especially black men.
Right?
They're not out here. They don't do this. They don't. I don't see that in my everyday walk.
Right.
I see
Come on
amazing
now.
Black
Come
men
on
out
now.
here that's doing
yeah.
something.
Come on now.
Nothing against any other race, please. You know what I mean? But I'm only speaking for the black man who's always knocked down and told something different. Right. So when that was presented to me by an amazing black man, right, it was like, okay, not only do I know that this exists, but I want this,
and I deserve it,
and I deserve it. Right?
Come on now.
It felt amazing to just, okay, Oh, you gonna play in this? Oh, that's amazing, great. But in that, it showed me a side of me that was soft.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I had to be so hard
for
all
so.
the
Come
time,
on, Shay,
right?
speak that.
And so, yeah,
I'm a co-host, right?
yeah. Come on, jump in.
Jump right in.
How were you able to navigate that change? Because being, I grew up, my mom was a single mom, right? And I felt like my mama, we have the best relationship now that we've ever had in our whole life. But growing up, we didn't, right? Because I always thought my mom was so hard. She was had this shell around her, right? She's not like that anymore. But, how did you get from a place, not just as a mother, but someone who's looking for love, looking for a partner? How did you get from being hard, I'm going to handle this, I got to do this, to allowing yourself to be, because it's really being vulnerable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was that like? Because that's something that's special.
He allowed it. He showed me something different. And that's not to say that other men that I dated didn't show me it. I really can't explain what it was, but he allowed me to just be.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you have a lot of men that'll be like, well, I don't want to do this, and she should step up 50-50, and we should do this, and we should do this, and we should whatever your opinion is on that, right? He was very much so a man, and he was old school and allowed me to be old school and say, we don't care what society say. I get the equal pay, and I agree with all of that, but at the core of me, I believe in the man. It's the head of the household.
Yes.
I'm going to let him handle that because I want him to handle that. I don't want to deal with the car. I don't want to deal with the plumber.
Right.
I don't want to deal with any of that. Right. And he allowed me to see that that's okay. Right. And so when he stepped up to the plate, and not in a disrespectful way, not in a territorial, not like, ooh, you're going to do this. Caveman.
Right.
Nothing like that.
Right.
Extremely soft, but just let me know he got it.
Right.
Yep.
I got this. I'm going to handle this. Baby, go on, sit down. I got you.
Yeah.
And whatever you like.
You know what?
Whatever kind of food you like. I mean, I was in the coming to America mode. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I like this. And it's okay that I like this. It's against the norm of what society says now, but this is what I like. Like, I want a man, to come and take care of everything.
Yeah.
Because I want to be the house manager.
Yeah.
Like, I had to realize, I was able to sit down and say, no, I like making sure that if a hurricane is coming, baby, we got toilet paper, we got everything we need up in here.
Yeah.
We straight.
We straight.
I like taking care of
a
man. I just do. That is who I am. I don't see myself as being less than. I don't see myself as he make all the decisions. There's still a mutual
respect.
Still a partnership.
There.
Yes.
But I love taking care of. I love, if we get to the point, if he come home, you straight, baby, you straight. You need this. Your lunch is over here. Your dinner is over here. Like, we're doing. I genuinely like that because I was able to be soft.
Yeah.
And so the going inside, going internal is like, okay, this is who you are. This is what you like. And don't get me wrong. I'm hustling. I'm working. I am back in this. This is what I got to do. Right. But I'm now at a point now where I'm going internal because I'm like, so I've experienced this. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to settle
for anything less.
For anything less.
Yes.
So if you come to me right or go left.
Yeah.
And I am now okay with saying, okay, I'm gonna holler at you later because you're not for me. You're not my person, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think I don't know. So I think it took him. Right. And again, there were other men, and maybe it's timing, maybe it's a lot, I'm sure that goes into that. But I don't know, he just allowed me, and it was at a time where I can just breathe and I can be and I can think.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was okay for me to be vulnerable.
Right.
It was okay for me not to be thugged out, Shay from DC, like we ain't gonna do. I don't want to do that. I am 49, people.
Not like, Shay from DC.
Not Shay from DC.
Like, have me go in my bag.
At some point, you just I realize I like that. I like the soft. And I want to have his back. And he was doing a business, and I was like, I got you. Like whatever you need. I have my degree. What we got to do? You know what I mean? I can do this. I can do. I wanted to be the helpmate.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
There we go.
And so it's like I finally was in a position where I could. So going forward, that's all I'm looking for.
And that's the key. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The key of it all was you were put in a position that you could do it. Before, you may not have been put in that position where you could do it. And the essence of here's the thing about that. The essence of who you are has always been that, but you had never been put in the position or had the partner to allow you, not disrespecting anybody else, but it has allowed you to be that thing that you've always wanted to be. And it comes with vulnerability, and it comes with trust. Right?
I was just about to say
And it comes with those two things. I can be vulnerable and I trust you. He showed you that you could trust him with your heart and with your vulnerability and the things that you wanted. And because here's the reason why I'm just going to say this is what happened. You've been running for so long, baby. So you haven't had an opportunity to know what you really like. So the moment that you sat down and didn't have to do anything or think about anything, then the woman in you was like, hey, girl, I just want to let you know, this is what we do.
Exactly.
This is what we like, right? Now, that don't take anything from anybody else, any other one. We talking about Shay, right? So is your time, when the timing came and you sat down, because you've always been a businesswoman, you've always took care of your kids, you've always done these things, and when you were able to sit down, this is why he can be a great dad. The moment that God sits you down, and you got to deal with you, and you got to be quiet, and not, because this is the thing, this is why nobody want to sit down and be quiet, because now you got to deal with you. And you've been dealing with you is scary. I know for me, I was like, we ain't really got to do this, Jesus. I'm good over here.
That's right.
You know, yeah, I'm good, because there's a lot of stuff I just don't want to deal with, and I don't want to recreate anything else, right? So the moment, for both of y'all, the moment y'all sat down and went inward, is when y'all realize this is the real essence of me. This is what I like. This is what I love. Because now the little girl in you and the little boy in you, y'all have holding hands and reconciling. And what happens with women, just talking me and you, what happens to women, people tell you, don't be so vulnerable. Don't be, girl, ain't nobody, be in your bag. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting here. Don't let the left hand know what the right hand do. All leaves you no opportunity to be vulnerable, even if you wanted to, because if you do, someone's gonna talk you out of it. Like, girl, really? Do you know him like that?
And I found myself not wanting to express
or share.
Yes,
ma'am.
Shares to keep, because it's like you almost get looked at like, well, what's wrong with you?
You making lunch?
I'm like, well, what's wrong with you? Because I like this. Like, so I just kind of found myself just sitting back and paying attention. And just noticing. And I would keep it. And if someone asked me, I had no problem with telling, okay, no, this is what I like. Right. But it's almost like looked down upon.
Because I think what happens is that there's so many people that deals in or. I am hard or I'm soft.
Right.
I am a boss or I'm submissive. And we deal in ors.
A lot of ors.
People are ands. I'm soft and I'm hard.
Yes.
I'm a protector and I want to be taken care of.
Yes.
I'm a boss and I'm submissive.
Right?
And we deal in, because we always want to, we are people, we want labels. It has to be defined. You have to be defined in what your role has to be defined. Your position has to be defined. There cannot be any gray.
Absolutely.
When everything we do, especially in relationships, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a parent, whether it's a spouse, there's no such thing as a black and white relationship.
It's just not.
There's always gray, but people don't want to operate in that gray. You were allowed to operate in the gray.
100%. And he was very expressive. You don't find that a lot. And so it showed me he possessed qualities I didn't even know
that you needed.
That I want. Like, you know, he would say stuff like, he would ask me, okay, what's going on with your business? You know, how's this? Da, 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 da. And I'd be like, and we had a very candid conversation. He said, listen, he said, I will never take you away from what you love. He said, but just know you don't have to work. I want you to work because that's what you want to do.
Right.
He said, but as a man, this is how, you know, I see things. He said, I'm never going to tell you can. You do what you want to do. But to me, this is, and I have never had that. And I was like, oh, but in him saying that, that made me want to work harder. Right. And I know that seems crazy, but it made me want to work harder.
Because you have, here's the thing. when you have options,
Yeah.
it changes how you work on things, right? Because at that point, he said it's an option. You can go or don't go. It's up to you. It's like being a millionaire when before you was working your whole life and you just was like, oh God. Then you become a millionaire and go and not quit the same job.
Yeah.
You be whistling while you working.
Yeah.
You don't need. You just be like skipping. Everybody, like, girl, what's wrong with you? Because here's the thing. This is the God's honest truth. Every job I ever have, even the one I have now, everybody was like, girl, why are you so happy? Like, what in the world? Because Sanchez told me a longer time, whenever you get tired, pack it up. Pack it up and get up out of it.
Yep.
He gave me an option. So I was like, I could go to work every day without the stress of, ooh, if they fire me today, what am I going to do? He was like, baby, whenever. And one job I took him up on it. I said, stay right here. I'll be right back. He drove me to work. I said I was working for the phone company. Seriously.
Sir, I was minding my own business. At that time in our relationship, we had one vehicle. Luckily, we worked close to each other, so I would take her to work, then I would go on to work myself. This one random morning, I had pulled up. I was about to kiss my wife goodbye. My wife said, hold on.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
She said, wait just a minute.
I'll be right back.
I said, babe, what's going on? She said, hold on. Just wait just a minute.
Don't move this car.
My wife went inside. She came back with a box. I'm like, babe, what's happening? She said, babe, I didn't quit.
I
said,
quit.
okay, that's where we are now.
This is what he said to me. He said, well, okay, babe, just drop me off to work and come back and pick me up later. He didn't even ask me why.
No.
He was like, because he just like, if that's what you want.
That's what it is.
Because you're not good. He said, my life is, if you're stressed, my life is stressing. I just don't want that for my life.
I don't subscribe to the happy wife, happy life thing because that takes too many anyway. But I do subscribe to if she's stressed, my life hell.
Yeah.
That's right.
I subscribe to that.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so I do everything I can to ensure that she's not stressed. Now, sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I add stress to her because it's fun. Sometimes I just gotta be a jerk.
You know what I mean?
Just sometimes because it's funny.
Keep you lively.
But
Keep you lively a little bit.
But it's weird because it's like when you're talking about guys, and it really is true. Like if your woman is happy, like she is about to, for real, come into her whatever you like.
Yeah.
Like I had no problem with making sure he was fine.
Yeah.
You good? You got this? Cool. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It when you feel love, I think it was a different type of love that I felt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And in the expression that so many men, and he would express that he could be vulnerable. I mean, it was the little stuff like we would get in the car and he'd be like, baby, can you drive? And I was like, yeah, I got it. And he would sit over and be like, oh, like I always drive. Like I just,
I just don't want to do this today.
I'm like, oh, I got you, baby. You good. It's no
it's
problem.
I
got
drive.
you. I'm about to ball out. What we got to do? Take me to ball out every day, once a week, what you need, right? It's to the thing, like we went to a cookout one time and I was meeting his friends and everything and it was hot.
Right.
And so, you get the fan, like the paper plate or whatever. So I was hot. So he over there fanning me. And his best friend was like, yo, what you doing? Like, she's supposed to be fanning you, And he was like, yeah, no, we good over here. Yeah, you step over there. We good over here. She deserved this and more. We good.
Yeah.
It was that, so it made me want to get a fan. I'm fanning him too. Like, it's that give and take. So I think when you look, I just think so many people, just get bad reps, male, female, it's always something, right?
Yeah.
But it just renewed my faith and just love and just, like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I want my person.
Yeah.
Because I had my person. And again, God needed him more than me. And that's just how I have to look at it, right?
Yeah.
So we weren't able to, to continue. But I want my person, but I want my person like that.
Yeah.
And again, there's no comparison. I'm not in a point to compare. And I think that's one reason why I'm kind of pulling back a little bit, where I'm just like, okay, Shay, what do you want? What are you looking for?
Yeah, what
Relax
do you
a little bit.
want?
Enjoy where you were.
Yes.
Know that exists. Know you're not going to settle. And when God brings that next person your way, you will see him.
You
can move, and
Right.
you'll be able to trust. He made me trust, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I know long-winded.
No,
you're fine. No, absolutely.
It's the
No.
situation where there's nothing wrong with it. It's the situation where you worked at a fast food for 15 years, right? You go in, it's a good job, it's honest work, you're able to pay your bills. It served its purpose.
Right.
You found a corporate job, pays a little better, little better benefits, treat you a little better. You don't smell like burgers.
That part.
There's nothing wrong with the fast food job. It's good work.
Yeah.
But that's not where you are anymore.
Yes.
So you're at a place now, it's not knocking any relationship you've had. It's not knocking anybody else that's been around.
No.
But you're in a different place now.
Yeah.
Right? What you're looking for is different now.
Yeah.
Right? Your benefit package is a little different now.
Absolutely.
What you're willing to accept, what you're willing to deal with is a little different now.
Yeah.
And I think if people will understand that as you change, it doesn't negate any relationship you've had. It doesn't negate the people that's come into your life because everybody has served a purpose.
Right.
100%.
Season and reason.
Season and I am so sorry, family. I was trying to hold that in. I'm dealing with a respiratory infection, so please forgive me. But I'm thankful for every bad relationship I've ever been in. Everyone. Because everyone led me to where I am now. Right.
Yeah.
Everyone led me to being the husband I am with Ange now and being the person I am now. So I took from everyone. But would I go back to any of those relationships?
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh, no.
I was speaking for me, not you.
I'm gonna speak for me too. Oh
no. Absolutely not.
I would never go back because I'm in a different place, a different season.
Yeah.
I'm in a different time now.
Yeah.
I know what I want. What I'm hearing you say, Shay, is that I know what I truly want.
Yeah.
I don't want just a relationship. I don't want to just be with someone.
Yeah.
I want my person.
I want to laugh. I want to have fun. I want to joke. I want to support. I want to be supported. I want to encourage. There's so much that now it's like I'm ready for.
Right.
Right. And I just don't think that I ever was allowed to be ready for those things and to just be.
Yeah.
You know what
to
I
be,
mean?
and that's the key word, to be, and know that not only do you deserve it, but you're worth it, right?
Yep.
And sometimes stuff is worth the wait, right? And like Sanchez, you go through all of this stuff, right? But at the end of the day, it is worth the wait, right? To see what's going to happen, and it is so weird because sometimes when you're talking about what you want, I want to do this and I want to do that, it is so much frowned upon by society, right? So. Because they think that means that, oh, you if he leave you and then you a lackey, and if you do all of this, you can't live in that, right? You can't live in that. I remember when me and Sanchez first got married, I still do it now. I iron his clothes for work. I pack his lunch, whatever. This is just what I did. I didn't think anything of it. And people's like, wait a minute, you iron his clothes? I'm like, and I'm looking at them like, yeah, like I was confused by it. I didn't know, right? Because I watched my mom, my dad clothes, right? That's the kind of relationship they had, and I was like, yeah, iron his clothes because he just like to go wrinkle, and what he not finna do is go out this door wrinkle and embarrass, right?
First of all, I don't go wrinkle. I take a shirt, I hit it with the flap real quick. That will pop.
No, that was wrinkle.
That was wrinkle.
That was still wrinkle.
Knocked a couple of wrinkles out.
No.
Hit him with that.
That was just a soft wrinkle.
Right there, with the pow right there.
No, still wrinkle. Still wrinkle.
That whip type situation.
No, bro.
Still wrinkle. And I would tell people, I was like, I like him.
What you about to say?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no. I'm just listening.
Oh, and I was like, no, not because here's the thing that I found not only that I love Sanchez, or I was in love with him, but I liked him as a human being. I liked his intellect. Yeah, I liked his intellect. I like how smart he is. I like the way he walk. I like the way he talk. I just like him, right? So for me, this is like my best friend, my ride or die. So why would, if I iron his clothes, what's the big deal? What's the big deal of making a lunch? Because trust me, he don't like to iron. But if I say to him, babe, I'm rushing. Yeah. Well, you know I'm not about to. He'd be like, I got you. Yeah. I hate it, baby. He mad. Oh, sweet Jesus, Lord. Please. Y'all just see him with this iron. He'd be like, ooh.
Brent, take everything I got not to burn her shirt.
He'd be like, okay.
It's silk. I had the iron on high. Take everything I got not to burn.
He'd be honest so slow, like, baby, I'm trying to burn your stuff. I just don't, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that it's not something he wants to do, but he will do it, right? Yes. And that's the thing. When you love somebody and you trust somebody to be vulnerable enough to go, this is not what I want to do, but I'll do it for you, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes we got to understand with people thinking like, oh, you just being submitted to him, or oh, you being submitted to her, because we've had family members on both sides that gave us a hard time about our relationship, right? And we're just like,
Since day one.
from day one,
Yeah.
like, and we're like, what? I'm like, y'all don't, this is marriage.
Yeah.
This is literally marriage, right? And we decided before God, this is what we was going to do. Sickness, health, all of it. All of it.
Yeah.
The good and the bad, the ugly and the uglier, honey. Because here's the thing, in a relationship, whether you get married or you in this a long-term relationship, understand that things are going to happen. So first you're going to be in love, right? And everything is amazing and it's great. And then you have kids, and then there's a time frame was like, ooh, this is a lot. I'm going to check you on Thursday because right? And then after that, then you come back together and everything is good. And then next thing you know, you got seasoned parents, and now your parents are getting older, right?
Yep.
Now you got to put your time in with that as well. And while you're doing all of this time, you have to love each other enough to know to not make sure that you're not strangers when all of this subsides and when all of this lays itself out and you go into your season year, right? That you're not strangers, right? And so you really work at this. And so it is a day by day, second by second, minute by minute situation.
Yeah.
So you have to be and understand what you want and what you will tolerate.
Yep.
And the reason why I'm so in awe of you guys, because y'all sat down and said, you know what? Yeah, I got to figure out what I want. Not what people want from me, but what do I officially want?
Yep.
And
Yes.
what and how, and here's the thing about that. And also, how will I show up to this world right now? In this part of it,
And
in
be
this
true to
age,
yourself.
and be true to yourself.
Yes.
How will I show up? Because not only you got to show up for people, but how do you show up for yourself every single day? And that makes a difference, because sometimes we're not showing up for ourselves. We're showing up for other people. But what I hear from you guys right now is like, no, I sat down and realized I need to show up for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to show up for me.
Even with, like I said, with my friend who passed, even when he was talking about, no, you don't have to work, you don't have to do this, it feels amazing, right? But we're also in a culture of this 50-50. No, you got this person, well, you got to pay 50 this, you got to do this, well, I want to do this. And I remember having a conversation, and he was like, you don't have to work unless you want to.
Right.
And I was so like, well, I don't want him to think I'm a gold digger. Well, I don't want him to think this. Well, I got to do this, I got this. And then I just stopped. And I was like, and he was like, we'll figure out what that looks like. And I'm like, you're right. I said, well, just know if you do this, I said, my money is not my money. My money is still household money.
Right.
So if you're going to take care of everything, okay, my money might go toward the retirement. It might go toward the vacation fund. It's going to go toward the Christmas fund. It's going to go toward savings. It's going to go toward whatever. You still have say so. My money is still a part of the pot.
Right.
So it's not necessarily a 50-50. It's just
Designated.
what works best for you and your household, period. Right? And that's what would have worked with us.
Right.
Yes, I can recognize that, you know what I'm saying, this is how he felt as a man. But at the same time, if he came to me and like, baby, I need you to, but it's over here, we got it.
Yeah.
It's not me, I'm going to take my money, I'm going to go in here and do this, and I'm going to do this. No, what do we need to do to better? But all of that made me want to look at it and say, okay, well, my money can go to making this part of his life easier.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're taking care of your mom, you're taking care of your dad, you're taking care of your kids, you're taking care, okay, my money can go toward taking care of this. My money can go. So all of that just had me just like, it has me thinking and realizing what I want in a relationship, what I want out of life to make me happy. And I am A-okay with being by myself until that person comes to me. So even though it was difficult, again, when I tell you I just look at life and relationships differently, I'm like, oh, okay, and it's okay.
And
I don't care what nobody think, what nobody say. Your young girls like, you better get your bag. You get your bag. I'm cool. I'm gonna get my bag because that's just who I am as a person.
That's right.
Right?
Regardless.
That's right. I have my degree. I have my own business. I do all of that. Right. I'm gonna work because that's just who I am. But
that's what you love.
Dang on good.
And plus,
that if you didn't want to,
if I ain't want to, I ain't got to.
And plus, certain things come with age.
Yes.
Come on, this is true.
Yes.
And when I say that, I'm not just talking about a number. You live long enough, you experience different things.
Yeah.
You see different things. And so your mentality changes.
Yeah.
And so, and then a lot of stuff that is said, like you said, because you're right. We have conversations with a lot of single people, and it's a lot of that, get yours, and, you should only worry about this. And then you realize the older you get, that stuff sounds stupid.
Yep.
Just to be honest,
Yeah.
That's true.
It sounds
That's true.
it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
You sound uneducated.
Yes.
When you're saying stuff like that, and you're saying it in a way that you're saying it like it's factual,
Right.
and it's
Not.
not. Because if it worked, you would be in a
That
relationship.
part.
Yeah, exactly.
You would be in a long-term
relationship.
functioning relationship
Relationship.
that you take care of him and he
He
takes
take
care of you.
Yep, exactly.
But you're not. You're still single, going to ladies' night, still trying to get the free drink.
Not this.
Trying to get in
Sit your
before
ass.
11.
Yeah, trying to get in for 11 because it's free.
Sit your, play nice with
Because
others.
you only had enough to pay for
saying.
parking.
play,
what I'm
play,
saying?
play nice with others over there.
But I thought we was having a real conversation though.
Listen, we talking real.
Yeah, because and it works both ways
It
because
does.
from the female aspect and then the male aspect and because there's some dudes that's real quick to tell you how to handle your wife, and he ain't even got a girlfriend.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He
Exactly.
ain't dated nobody since 1963, but he telling you strongly,
Yeah.
how you should handle your
Yes.
wife
And what you should say
to your
your
wife, and how she shouldn't talk to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm asking, but bro, when the last time somebody made you a sandwich?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
when the last time somebody made sure when you was sick, you had Alka-Seltzer?
Yeah.
When the
Right.
last time?
Yeah.
Right.
And we get so caught up
Yes.
in worrying about what everybody else is saying, and you touched on it earlier, Brent.
Yeah.
Family is a wonderful thing,
Ooh, but baby.
family
But
can
baby.
be destructive.
Oh yes.
Be careful.
Yep.
Because they're the
sir.
ones that they're close to you. They know you. I know you better than anybody
Anybody
else.
else.
Yep.
No, you knew a version of me.
Of me.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you
Yes.
truly understand who I am at this point, who
Right.
I am
In
now.
this part of my life.
In this part of my
My
life.
life.
And the one thing I admire about you, Brent, because we go back, we know, and I know you're close with your family.
Right.
But I know that you are a different breed as well.
Right.
And you
Very much.
made a conscious decision that I love my family, but I got to do something different.
Different.
Yes.
I got to
Yeah.
show something different. And we all know there's some people who can't do that because they're so afraid of what their family may say or their family turning against them or going against the grain. And,
Yeah.
and then what are they going to say and what are they going to do?
Yes.
And then we get stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck.
So
Yeah.
I'm curious for you, how were you able to do that? How did you get there to be like, you know what, I love my family, but
Yeah.
how were you able to do that?
Look, man, to be honest with you, you hit it on the head. I love my family tremendously. You know, we're a close family.
Right.
You know, so I grew up where my cousins were like my siblings. You
Right.
know what I mean? Grandma, my mama, my mom has a twin sister. Right. She's like my second mom.
Right.
So very close. But one thing about me, I'll tune you out.
Have you always been like that
Listen,
though?
yes.
Okay.
I'm the middle child.
Okay.
I'm the middle of five, right? Middle child. I could do anything. People, I just did me.
Right.
You know, I had the younger siblings. They were twins, right? I had an older sister, older brother. You know, a whole lot moving pieces. I could wander off over here.
And nobody even know.
Nobody even know I'm gone, right? You know what I mean? So I learned how to function by myself,
Okay.
right? Whereas, so many people, they never learned that. But see, a lot of people talk about being a middle child as if it's such a negative thing. See, I was a
Right.
middle child, I didn't get any attention. That's okay.
Some people
That's
like
okay,
that.
because I got away with some stuff. You know what I'm saying? They weren't paying attention to what I was doing.
Wait a minute now.
Got away with some stuff, right? But what happened is that because I grew up that way,
Right.
I was my own self,
Okay.
right? For so long, and I've always just been a little different.
Right.
So when I got older and I decided, hey, look, y'all do y'all, that's cool. I'm gonna do me.
Yeah.
And anytime there was you sort of hit on this about a man allowing you to have an opportunity to say, you don't have to work if you don't want to.
Right.
See, that's me. That's me. And I've always been that person where I got an old soul, right? Because for me, it was, I want to be the man. I want to provide. I want to give you the best life I possibly can. If you want to do it, I'm not going to hold you back.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna be your cheerleader.
Right.
But if you don't want to, that's fine with me too.
Yeah.
But, if you're not going to work, find something find a way to contribute towards your household so that you don't feel, not for me, but so that you don't start feeling like you are not contributing. Because this is what a lot of people mess up. They'll say, oh, well, they'll be in a relationship and they'll have it good. They'll have it real good. What happens is, it's not that as a man I'm putting pressure on a woman to say, hey, you're not working, you're not doing X, Y, and Z. It's a problem. What happens is you start
internalizing that.
You start saying to yourself, you know you're not really doing much of anything. I haven't said anything.
Right.
Yep.
You know, we rocking. But
Right.
you know. And when you start asking yourself, what are you contributing? You start to measure.
Right.
Right? And instead of asking, okay, what am I going to contribute to my household? You start fighting against contributions. So now we arguing.
Right. About nothing.
Yep.
Nothing at all. When you ask, what do you want out of this?
Exactly.
You don't understand me. Right? It's like, well,
Like,
I
I
don't,
think
you know?
I do.
But that's the thing for me, and it's my family. I grew up in a household full of women.
Right.
Right? So I heard it all growing up. Lord have mercy. You know? and a lot of it was justified. Right? Because, like, you know, my father wasn't around, justified, you know, didn't do right. You know, but my cousin's father, like, not around, justified. So I heard a lot of things, and they were all justified.
Right.
But I heard them.
Right.
And I said to myself, hey, look, you ain't going to be talking about me like that. You know, I don't want nobody to be able to talk about me like that. So I'm going to do what I know I need to do. But what happens a lot of time is that you find yourself in a place where people who went through that, they were done wrong.
Yeah.
But they'll look at you when you're doing right
Yeah.
and say, why are you doing all of that?
You don't
Right? And it's
take all of that.
Isn't that what you wanted?
take all of that.
Right?
Yes.
Isn't that what you wanted? So I'm a father. I have my child 90% of the time.
Right.
Right? So there's a period of time where people are looking at me like, why he not with his mama? I said, what do you mean? You know?
He with his daddy. Why he gotta be with his mama?
He's like, well, you know, why don't she X, Y, Z? And I said to myself, and I asked him one day, I said, look, question. He said, what? I said, think about this a little bit different. When I was a 3-year-old, 4-year-old child, and you were taking care of me,
Right. Wouldn't you have love?
wouldn't you have given the world
Yes.
for your, you know, the other parent to have done more, so
Yes.
that you didn't have to be everything?
Exactly.
But a lot of when you live like that for 20, 30 years,
You don't see it that
you'll
way.
find yourself after wanting that.
Yeah.
You'll be on the back end questioning when it's happening. You'll start to
Yes.
say, "Well, I don't look right.
Yeah.
Why are you doing all that? You shouldn't be doing all that." It's like, but that's what you wanted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's where my, sort of back and forth, I would say, happened with my family. But really, like I said, I tune them out.
Right.
You know,
It is so
I'm good at it.
It is so interesting because I remember a conversation with someone or a couple of someones in Sanchez family, and they were so, because he made my food or he'll do whatever. And I remember saying, this is so weird because y'all said y'all have prayed for him all your life.
Yep.
For him to be a man of God, to be a good father, to be this, and now he's in front of you being all of this, and y'all are annoyed.
Exactly.
Why would you be annoyed about what you should be like? God is faithful, but they just annoyed.
Good
and then
God.
I realized the
Jealous.
reason why is because what he's giving is what they wish they had.
Wish they had,
That's
yeah.
what's jealousy.
Yep.
Right. And so it's not intentionally being jealous, and it's not them intentionally, but they just looking like I prayed for him to do it and he's doing it. Yes. But I didn't get that, right? And so they don't know how to handle that. And again, it's not they trying to not be hurtful or do anything.
don't know it.
They just don't understand it.
So it's jealousy, and they don't understand how. Even like again, you can say you want something. When it's presented, can you handle it? Do
Yes.
you truly understand it?
Right.
And so when I say jealousy, I don't mean jealousy like, oh, we don't like her, blah blah blah.
Right.
It's that jealousy, in it's almost saying like, well, why does happen to her without me? But not consciously saying, you know what I mean? I don't
Right.
think that it's you know what I mean, malicious, but
Right.
it is.
There was a sermon. My grandmother, she's a preacher. Right? She's been preaching for 40 plus years.
Right.
But she preached a sermon, and in that sermon, one of the points were people think that jealousy can exist where love exists. So they think that if someone's jealous of you, they don't love you.
Right.
Or if someone loves you, they can't be jealous of you.
Right.
And that is not the case.
Exactly.
Far from it.
Right? It's far from that. Actually, the more love that exists, the more often you'll find jealousy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people don't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you are dealing with family, when you're dealing with people who you know love you,
Yeah.
and they'll go to war behind you.
Yeah.
Right? When jealousy exists, what happens is we take it as, right? They don't understand.
They hate us.
You know, they just no. What happens is that you don't know their full story,
Right. Right.
right? You know, so as I got older, I found out things. I'm thinking to myself, I did not know that. Well, I had no business knowing that.
Right. Not at that time.
Right.
I said, yeah.
You know, you get grown first. You know?
get grown.
So when you learn things, then you can click in your mind and say, I see what that is.
Yeah.
I understand that now. That wasn't hate. That was misunderstanding.
Yeah.
That wasn't them. Wanting the worst for me or
Right.
shutting down. They didn't know how to handle their emotions because that's something that they prayed for 30 years ago.
Right. And it triggered them. Like what they saw triggered them.
Yeah.
I can't stand y'all. We gotta go.
I know.
You ain't the producer.
I can't
Why is you
stand
only trying to
y'all.
produce the
Yes.
show?
I know because you give it. You
But
done,
you done
you done,
sat up. You done
exactly.
sat
He done
up.
sat
I was
up in the
like,
chair.
"Ooh."
Nah, I was set up because this is interesting.
So here we go. Here, I guess we won't talk to y'all again until
I don't
2025.
do that.
Ma'am.
Listen.
Ma'am.
Look,
Yes,
don't
sir.
do
Could you
that.
please stop wrapping up my show?
Okay, I'm sorry. Now it's your show. See, that's what I'm talking about, folks.
I'm just
Now
saying,
it's
like,
his show.
Could you please stop
2026.
wrapping up my show? I ain't ready to wrap up my show.
What,
yet,
what did you
ma'am.
have to say, sir?
What I was gonna say before I was ruling
What had happened was,
is that a lot of the times what happened is that people who are hurting don't understand what healthy looks like
Yeah,
because they've been sick for so
long. Yeah,
So they don't understand. So when you've been in an unhealthy relationship,
Yeah.
when you've had unhealthy thoughts, unhealthy feelings,
Right.
when you've lived your life unhealthy,
yeah,
when
absolutely.
you see something healthy, your mind can't compute it.
Yeah,
Yes.
And
Yes.
you don't understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in a situation where someone is seeing you with your son, where you are actively engaged in your son's life, you are actively raising your son, but it's something that they never experienced as a hurt there. Their mind can't compute.
Yes.
right.
Because it was crazy on the flip side, if it was the mother, nobody would ask the mother that question.
Nope. They
Nobody would
wouldn't.
ask the mother, well, why is your child with you all the time?
Yeah, you know.
Then why do you have your child
Right.
95% of the time? Nobody would think to ask a mother that.
Exactly.
But because there's so much hurt in a lot of people when it comes to their father,
To the
when it
father
comes to that
figures.
father role, that father figure,
Yep.
in their mind can't compute
Yeah.
a man being actively involved with his son and wanting to.
Yes.
Yes.
Like this is not a situation where I'm being forced by
Yeah.
somebody. This is a
Right.
situation where I say, give me my son.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And like with Ange was talking with us, because like you, Brent, I had my grandparents. That was the only marriage I saw growing
Right.
up. I had two sets of grandparents. Each were married for over 50 years. One fought like cats and dogs all the time. I mean, engaged in battle.
Right.
And then one, they were married, and I love my grandparents, but there was no love in the marriage.
Right.
They were married.
Right.
Right.
There was no affection. There was no hugging. There was no affection in this marriage.
Right.
And so, and then everybody else around me was divorced or in a bad relationship went on. So when Angela and I come along, and I'm doing everything that I've heard them say that a husband is supposed to do and what they wanted, so they see it, and it's like their hurt won't allow them to see anything
Ain't good in it.
healthy.
Anything good in it.
anything good in it.
Anything good in it.
And there's so many people around us that's like that in family. You have those people as well, and that's when grace comes in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You said it best, Brent. You don't understand because you don't know their story.
Right.
Yes.
You don't know. You think they're just acting out, or you think they're just jealous, or you think
Yeah.
that they just don't know any better.
Yeah.
When if you really sit down and have a true conversation,
Yeah.
and one of my favorite phrases when you peel back the layers,
Mm-hmm.
when you start peeling back those layers, and you really start seeing,
Yeah.
okay, where okay, I see it now, where you're acting this way because this happened in your life and this person hurt you and this person made a promise and now this person went away. Now, so you lost this person. Yeah. So you only felt a connection to this person. Now this person is gone.
Yeah.
Now you don't trust. And you start understanding the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But we're so quick to just not want to deal. Yeah. Because we have our own things.
Yeah.
Baby, you said it best. Life be life.
Life be life and for real.
Yes, it does.
And so life be life. And so because life is life and for me, I don't want to take the time to figure out, Shay, what's going on with you. Exactly. Okay, you got a problem. Okay, deal with it. Yeah, we all got problems.
And, you know? And I'm going to say this because he did point it out. Mm-hmm. When I say peel back the layers. Mm-hmm. I've been saying that to Sanchez since, was it 2018?
2018. Mm-hmm.
2018. Mm-hmm.
2018.
Now I know that he actually listened to me at all of those meetings.
In those meetings.
At all of the meetings.
In the meetings y'all was together in.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
It is very difficult to want to peel back the layers when you want to just be pissed off with that person, when you don't want to like that person, when you want a reason, because you know, if I peel back, then I may find that the reason why I don't like this person, to be honest, really is not a good reason, right? Just recently, I had a conversation with my mom. And me and my mom's relationship is me and my mom's relationship, and it's always been this way. Yeah. We don't have a connection. Like I'm her daughter, she's my mom, but we're people like you and your daughters, or me and my daughter. We don't have that kind of relationship, right? We respect each other, but we just don't have that kind of relationship. And for 4 hours, I think last week, for 4 hours, I was determined to figure out why my mama do not like me. She doesn't care for me. She doesn't love me until I pull back the layers. And I realized I asked my mother to take me from the time that she was pregnant till now. And when she took me from the time that she was pregnant, as she began to talk, I got less bitter. I got less she don't love me. I got less she don't care for me. I got less she didn't like me. I got less, and I say the reason why is because she never connected with me from birth. From birth, my mother only had me on Saturdays and Sundays because she worked, her and my dad. So Saturdays and Sundays took me back to my godparents. And then after that, they moved to North Carolina. And when they moved to North Carolina, they both worked. And so I stayed with her grandparents, which was my great-grandparent, right? And then my parents broke up. And then when my parents broke up, I lived with my dad. And for 4 years, my mom went away. So now when you get to pulling back these layers, you could see why from birth we didn't have a connection, because there was always someone else taking care of me because they worked, or they had some diseases or some addictions or whatever the case is. And then for the first time, and this is Sanchez will tell you, from the first time in my entire life, when it came to my mother, I went to bed and I slept so well. I slept well because that little girl who had been wishing and hoping, why my mama don't love me, why she don't care for me, she like my brother better, she like everybody better than me. Because I never asked the questions. I didn't want to pull back. I know what you did to me. So that's where I want to lay it at. I don't care about what was done to you. I know what you did to me. I want right. So when I pulled it back, I was like, this woman has not practically even raised me. From birth, y'all. So when you don't do that from birth, you don't have a connection. And then I was like, what ain't this? And then it made sense, right? And it took me a minute, and I was like, got it. Okay.
That's special to me. And I'm going to say this before Sanchez shut us down.
He got his hand on the button.
Keep looking over there, checking the phone, checking the watch. It's the same time on both of them. You look at that both. Come on now. I'm going to say this before we shut it down. You're going to mute me in a minute. We talked about mother. So my mother, loved my mother tremendously. But growing up, we did not have a relationship, you know. So my older brother did not live with us. You know, he lived with his dad.
Right.
And I did not realize it at the time. Right? So I have brothers. But I didn't realize at the time. But, you know, when he would come visit, he would come every other weekend.
Right.
Right. I'm looking at myself thinking, why in the world does my mom do things with him that she don't do with us?
Right.
And then it stopped becoming us, and I started looking at it. She don't do that with me.
Right.
Like, what in the world's going on?
Right.
Then I messed around and got close with neighbors in my neighborhood. So growing up, we lived in a neighborhood. We were the only black family in the neighborhood.
Wow.
So one day we're out, playing, riding bikes on the whole 9 yards, and then I see some kids. They were mixed. I said, "What in the world?" Right? So listen, I'm growing up in school,
right?
In Indian land school back in the day. If you were black in Indian land, you were cousins,
right? Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was if you go to the yearbooks, the only black people you're gonna find in there is me and my cousin, right? It wasn't that many of us,
right?
So I'm seeing, mixed. I'm like, what in the world's going on? So that family, I love them to death. Shout out to the Nickerson family. I love them. They're my second family.
Right.
They took me in, but they adopted children. So they adopted these mixed children.
Right.
And they brought me into their family.
Right.
So I got to see, a different version of family than what I've ever seen.
Right.
That drove me further away from my mom.
Ooh.
Because it's like, how can people
who didn't birth me?
They didn't even, how can they do this with me?
Yes.
But not my mom.
Come on now.
Now, fast forward. I've been, Sanchez can tell you, and you know this, I'm a workaholic. I really prioritize work because I try to achieve things that seem impossible. Right. That's what drives me.
Right.
Because in me, it's always, I want to do something to show people you ain't gotta do nothing illegal. You ain't gotta be no rapper. You ain't gotta be no NFL player. To have something, right? You gotta hustle, right? So that's what I do.
Right.
Right. So I told myself, look, man, just focus on your work. When I made something of myself and I got to a place where I was able to bless,
right,
I sat down with my mom because I watched her go through all she went through. We had no connection really, right? She's my mama,
right?
Love her. I'm gonna help her do the best I can for her. When we sat down, I said to myself, look, I need to understand what happened here,
right?
When I sat down and had a conversation with her and understood her life,
right,
it immediately changed me, and I realized, thank you for everything you've done, because I'm telling you now, that would have broke 99% of people.
Yeah.
And to have 5 children as a woman, trying to, we're not talking about going to college, working a corporate job. No. You working 2 or 3 jobs, tough jobs,
right?
Warehouse jobs, just to put food on the table, right? I never went hungry.
Yeah,
I never went without. Christmas came, got what I needed. I was looking for her to do something be something that she didn't even know how to be.
Yeah, come on now.
Because she did not get that.
Yeah.
So when we sat down, it immediately changed for me. And I realized, wow, she did it with 5. Yeah. I'm trying to do it with 1. Listen, we built different. So it immediately changed my mindset from, now I want to do everything I can to help my mom.
Yeah. Right.
Like, let me do for you to take birth, because if you got to understand people, and if you understand them, you have to make a decision. Most people don't want to do it, because they want to blame and they want to hold on to that reasoning.
They do,
and if you do something to make them upset, they want to hold on to that, because you doing something 10 years ago is the reason why I'm out here acting a fool today. Right. So they don't want to solve for that, because that means that if I continue on this bad behavior that I actually like, that I claim I don't like,
I gotta be accountable.
It's my choice.
I'm gonna be accountable.
That's why people do that. But no, that I had to say that, because you talking about that with your mom. I went through the exact same thing. And now my mom, we talk every day. She's a wonderful grandma to my son. She does so much for my kid, right? She's soft with him. We always joke. She was hard with us. Yeah. Hard.
Yeah, I hear that
now,
all the time.
Now all of a sudden, he over here doing all this stuff. It's like,
you're not gonna say nothing?
So I go over there. He over here flipping.
We don't flip in this house.
Flip on the couch.
You doing this a grandkid?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. Like, what are you doing to my baby?
Put my babies down.
So
I got 3 babies.
Never seen it.
On that note, since everybody want to produce my show,
you said co-host? co-host.
Since everybody, it's the difference between the co-host and the executive producer.
Yeah. See,
everybody wants
He about the title.
He
See,
like
y'all?
that executive. See, he like that executive.
See, he always
Ain't a
about
lot
the
to you.
title.
It sound nice. It roll off the tongue.
He like me
nice.
because he in charge. This is. I'm gonna follow your lead.
So, since everybody else want to produce the show, on that note, we'll do roundtable final thoughts. I'm going to start with Shaq.
They ain't even start with us.
Yeah, no, start with
Not
them.
starting with y'all at all.
Start with them. Let me go last.
Nope,
Lord
it's you, mama.
Yeah,
Final.
go on, Brent, go on. Start with him.
Oh, but you ain't gonna tell us she produced something after you told her to do
I know,
it.
right?
See, that's what I'm saying.
I said it's producers.
She wasn't over there trying to wrap up my show either, though.
Go ahead, Brent. Yo, go,
He didn't
Brent.
tell me. He the executive producer.
Go ahead. What's your final thoughts, sir?
Listen, final thought. How long I got?
As long as you need.
All right, cool.
As long as
Listen.
you need.
Well, first I'm gonna say this. I always get a good laugh out of this. And I know I told y'all this the other day actually. I said, look, we need to get a time together. Let's do dinner. Let's hang out. Let's do something. I need a good laugh from down deep.
Yeah.
Right. I get that from them. Right. This is obviously no exception. But what I love about this, especially this conversation, is that we naturally picked up where we left off.
Yeah, that's so
That was
crazy.
not planned
That was not planned
at all.
at all.
But that's how I know it needed to be
You need to be talked about. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I love about this. Now, I'm in a period right now. I'm in the middle of some crazy stuff, right? Company acquisitions. I now run 6 companies. Literally, it is a mess. It's crazy, but I'm having the best time of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
These conversations remind me that there's still work left for me to do.
Come on now.
Personally.
Come on.
Right. So as I go out and conquer the world in the business space and do all the things I'm doing, right, it's just a reminder, you know, continue to do the work for you.
Come on.
And those around you.
Yeah.
Right. Those are my final thoughts here. I just love that, man. Energized.
Ooh, not energized.
I'm about to go work out after this.
It's a shoulder shake from me.
What you got, Shay from DC?
Not straight from DC.
Really? That's what we're going to do? I would second that. I so enjoy these conversations. Just being here with you guys. Like
thank you.
I count it a blessing that you all even want me to come on. Right?
Thank you.
I'm just this peon. Like I'm just
Second it.
I'm just here, right? So the fact that you all value my opinion and allow me to come on, I greatly appreciate it. I would just say, you know, at this season of my life, I'm just loving myself.
Come on
right?
now.
So I would say, love yourself. You know, go internal and see exactly what you want for your life. Not what
Right.
society tells you, not what your friends tell you, not even what you thought about yourself last week, right?
Right.
Kind of sit down and have a talk kind of with yourself of what you like, what you want to see in the future. I mean, we're about to go into 2025, right? Perfect timing, right? Take the next month, you know, month and a half, pretty much middle of November, month and a half, and just kind of see where you want your life to be in 2025 and know that it's okay wherever you land. Right,
Yeah.
as long as you're being true to who you are, right. So, love on yourself and enjoy life. I can't wait. Like,
Yes.
I'm having fun too. You know what
Listen.
I mean? I know it's more of a serious topic. You know, when I started
No.
talking, but I am having fun. So,
Mr. Crenshaw.
No, former co-host Angela. It's on you. What is your final thought? Because it's most likely be the last time they hear from you on these airways. So go ahead.
Did I get fired?
Yeah, actually you did.
You said
I'm not
former
gonna
co-host.
say you got fired. What I am gonna say is that I have chosen not to renew your contract.
Sanchez, they call that a redundancy.
It's a redundancy.
Redundancy.
Yo,
Well, here's the thing. My
your
guy,
position has been made
I
redundant.
could really preach this if I wanted to. I could preach it, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let you do you. I will see y'all next Wednesday. I don't know what he talking
I know,
about,
that's right.
but anyway,
me too.
I'll be back next Wednesday.
Executive producer.
What the executive producer? Thank you. My final thought is, you know what? It is sometimes in life, right? You have got to sit amongst your friends and be transparent. And the reason why I was making that my final thought, because today we have been naked and not ashamed. We've been transparent, right? And it's not about who's married, who's single. It is about friends getting together and being transparent about their lives, what's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes I'm praying for the family out there that they have some friends or family members that they can sit down with and give the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And be able to express themselves and feel that they're safe in doing that, and understanding that if you, each one of each other can bless each other, because you guys have blessed us today. Like I've listened to you guys, and I'm like, there's so much for me, even from both of you guys, that I've learned today, even from myself. So I just want to thank you guys so much for being here. So my final thoughts is, if you can, get somebody you can trust and be transparent and be naked and not ashamed. It will bless you. It actually will free you too. It'll free you.
Yes.
It'll free you. So that's me, babe.
I'll take that. My final thought is going to be simple.
Mind you, he's going to say it, yo. Okay, I'm sorry, my bad.
First, I'm going to start with I am accepting applications and video essays recording why you will make a good co-host for the Crenshaw Corner. Last name Crenshaw doesn't necessarily need to be.
Oh, it don't have to be.
Don't necessarily have to be Crenshaw.
It has to be.
But I'm accepting application.
Don't send it, y'all. Don't get your feelings hurt.
So my final thought is going to be: take time to learn someone's story.
Yeah. Peel the layers back.
Take the title off. Mother, father, sister, brother. Take the title off and learn their story. Everyone has a reason why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
You may not feel it's justified. You may not feel it's a good reason. You may think it should be something different. However, it's their story.
Yeah.
And when we take the time to learn each other's story, we take the time to learn each other. And we find out that we're more alike than we are
different,
unalike.
Amen.
So it's really just as simple. Just take the time to learn someone's story. Remove your preconceived notions.
Come on now.
Of who that person is or how you think that person is.
Yeah.
Just truly just listen. One of the things, kind of touch on what Andrew was talking about earlier, she had never taken a time, or she was never afforded the opportunity. I'll say that. I'm not going to say she didn't take the time, but she was never afforded the opportunity of just learning her mother's story. And then once she learned her mother's story, it did not change the hurt. It did not make it hurt any less, but there was a better understanding.
Yes, absolutely.
There was a release that happened.
Yeah.
That she understood. This is not my fault.
Exactly.
This is not on me.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of family right now that's walking around with this on me. It's my fault. This happened because of me. They treat me this way because of me. It's going on because of what I did.
Or why me?
Or why me? But when you take the time to learn their story, you'll understand.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to end it there.
That's good, babe.
So family.
Family.
Once again, Brent, Shay from DC. Shay from DC.
Shay from DC.
Shay from DC.
I take everything I said back.
But what I love
Everything.
But family, what y'all didn't see when she initially said that was the head roll with
Yes,
it.
honey.
Because you can't say DC without the neck rolling.
Yes.
And you notice I said everything.
Everything.
I'm from the DC area.
The area.
As long as you don't have that Baltimore accent,
Oh no.
we good.
We good, right where we need to be.
Be more careful is different.
Because if I hear somebody chasing a Doug one more time, because there's a Doug under the porch. Don't get bit by that Doug.
Baby.
What? I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Housekeeper.
Family, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
We thank you for listening.
We love
thank
you
for
guys
being a
so
part.
much.
However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's on Amazon Music, Google Play, whether it's on iHeartRadio, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on Podbean, whether it's on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com, whether you're listening on YouTube, we just thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys so much. Yes.
As always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
Yes.
We can be found on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, once again on YouTube. And you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Yes.
Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Yes.
And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.